A little while back I did a Pokemon is SCPs video, and although I had a lot of fun doing that, I think we could do much better. I mean, we can improve the artwork, we could improve the story and the lore, and we can do something a little bit extra, couldn't we? So here we are, Pokemon's SCPs Part 2, or rather, Take 2. Either way, I decided to one-up my last video. So, instead of just doing Pokemon as regular old SCPs, because let's face it, that'd be a little bit too easy. Instead, I decided I would take Pokemon, turn into SCPs, and venomize them. That's right, today's video is Pokemon is SCPs Venomized. Sounds like a fun concept, doesn't it? It takes a few things we love on the channel: Pokemon, SCPs, and venomizing stuff. Do you want to see how they turned out? Let's bring these illustrations to life.
We should apologise for not being at the last briefing. The one about those monkey wrench fellas. But that isn't what I'm here to discuss with you today. Instead, we have a special bunch of SCPs that are, shall we say, more troublesome than any regular entity the Foundation currently has in containment. We know we covered the SCP-P classification last time. However, there's been a bit of a development of sorts. We must say, we nearly ran away to bury my head in the bottom of a pint of the black stuff. Anywho, let's get into this one before I change my mind. Item SCP-P-359-M-V. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-P-359-M-V is to be kept in its containment cell at all times. Foundation staff are not allowed to enter the cell under any circumstances. D-Class personnel are to check the sonic emitters surrounding the cell at 12-hour intervals. If one of these emitters shows the slightest sign of damage aware, it is to be replaced immediately. Foundation staff must set up the new emitter and ensure the thing is active before turning off and removing the aforementioned emitter. At no time is a gap in the sonic waves emitted around the containment cell allowed. If in the event that this happens, Foundation staff are to activate the secondary containment system that sets a wall of fire around the cell. The Foundation is aware that if any SCP-P-V entities were to escape, it wouldn't be long before all entities in the containment site will become -V entities. If this were to happen, the O5 Council is to be informed, and procedure Alpha Omega 5 is to be activated regardless of which Foundation staff is present on site, even if they are a member of the O5 Council. Description: SCP-P-359-M-V is a canine entity, much like the Bai from ancient Chinese mythology. Although, after seeing this SCP, we think it could have been this Bai thing. It has a height of 1.2 meters and seems to be an evolved, related SCP to SCP-P-359. The boys in the lab think this thing is a variant of SCP-P-359, as tests show it has the same DNA, just exhibiting much less energy in its body. SCP-P-359-M-V has white fur over its body and a pair of wings, 2 horns on its head. However, one is vastly larger than the other. In the centre of its head is a large dark stone-like jewel, similar in colour to the horns and its rather sweet tail. There also appears to be spikes coming from its legs, as well as a wavy tuft of fur. This entity has one glowing red eye showing from behind the band of fur that covers its face, razor-sharp teeth, and a dark greyish colour face. Sounds like a lovely fella to meet in a dark alley. I hope the containment measures for this one work indefinitely. It also appears from some testing by the boys in the lab that this SCP can convert its bioenergy to make a rather intimidating aura. As such, those Foundation members who are faint-hearted expire from the shock when looking at the entity. Bloody Nora, if looks could kill, well, in this case they can. Good job, I'm not the faint-hearted kind of guy. But still, what else is to mention about this one? Oh, it appears the large horn on its head can detect the slightest warning signs of natural disasters. So this thing's an early warning system of the SCP world. Maybe we should employ it at various sites to let us know if disaster's about to strike. Though, there's a bit that's redacted, but I can read what it says at the bottom though. SCP-P-359-M-V has been infected by SCP-001-V from the incident at Site V. As such, this SCP can take on a form of a blackish coloured body with a white face and a rather long and slimy tongue coming out of its mouth. Oh, and that gem on its head turns red in colour. So this entity was infected by the one that escaped from Site V when Nexum and Aaronfold showed up. We think those boys will be a large amount of the black stuff as a start to making up for this mess. Looks like the containment procedures on this one make more sense now, especially the part about no one in or out of the containment cell. If this or any of the infected SCPs get out of containment, then this world will be turned upside down from an SCP-001-V mass infection outbreak. Compared to the last one, this one seems rather pale in comparison. I wouldn't underestimate this one though, as this entity is also infected after contact with SCP-001-V. This entity is SCP-P-778-V, and it's a rather small entity. Item SCP-P-778-V. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. As with all SCP-V entities, no Foundation staff are allowed to enter the containment cell under any circumstances. SCP-P-778-V has the same sonic emitters and FOIA procedures as all SCP-V entities held by the Foundation. The only extra step for this SCP is a series of UV lights built into the containment cell. Sunlight seems to be able to weaken this one. Foundation staff are not permitted to look directly into the holes of the cloth covering this entity. If, in the event this happens, the affected Foundation member is to be isolated immediately and quarantined in the adjacent containment cell. Failure to do so will result in all Foundation members involved being dispatched. The O5 Council is to be notified of any changes to the quarantined staff member immediately. No access to the staff member is permitted unless directed by the O5 Council. Description: SCP-P-778-V seems to be completely covered by its cloth, always hidden away, preventing someone from seeing its true form. Those who have caught a glimpse of this entity through the holes in its cloth suddenly come down with a mysterious illness, one which the Foundation has no cure for. Symptoms vary from person to person, but all who get this illness die. It's been noticed by the boys in the lab that SCP-P-778-V's cloth resembles that of another SCP entity the Foundation has come across. The entity is SCP-P-025, and despite our best efforts, the Foundation has yet to discover why this is. When, in its infected form, this SCP has spikes coming out of the fake tail on its costume, an extra face appears on its stomach. Well, the stomach area of the costume this entity wears, a rather long, slimy tongue. The colour of this SCP changes colour from pale yellow to purplish blue from the ooze-like substance similar to the body of SCP-001-V. SCP-P-778-V, while in its infected form, is able to use the ability to infect others with the mysterious illness just by looking at them. However, it seems like this entity can control at will who will be infected with the illness. As this SCP has a very mysterious nature, often causing staff to become ill when bored, Foundation staff are unsure of the range of this anomalistic effect. As such, when SCP-P-778-V changes to its infected form, steel blinds come down around the containment cell, and staff are not to open them unless D-Class personnel confirm the entity is back to its non-infected form. An incident designated SCP-P-778-V-C. It was discovered that the ability to infect those whom this entity looks at with a mysterious illness can be spread via the security cameras in its containment cell. As such, D-Class personnel are stationed in a special room for observation of SCP-P-778-V. Since D-Class personnel are expendable, surveillance of this one has a rather high mortality rate. The Foundation, however, are still trying to find a cure for the illness this SCP causes. As such, SCP-P-778-V is only to be observed in person by D-Class personnel unless stated otherwise by the O5 Council. If a D-Class enters the containment cell, they are to be subject to blasts from the sonic emitters around the containment cell. If infected, the D-Class is to be eliminated via the use of FOIA and sonic measures. Item SCP-P-48-V. Object Class Apollyon. Special Containment Procedures. As of yet, There are no containment procedures in place to deal with SCP-P-484-V. The Foundation is unable to hold this entity due to its unique ability to manipulate space. Due to this spatial ability, this entity can travel to various dimensions, as well as anywhere it pleases within hours. SCP-P-484-V can be infected by the same weaknesses as other V-class SCPs. However, due to its overpowered skill with space, all such attempts by the Foundation to contain this anomaly have failed. This one definitely requires several pints of the black stuff, or, to be on a bit of the crazy side, to face it. SCP-P-484-V has, however, shown no signs of trying to infect others. In fact, this SCP seems to be in search of something. Perhaps it's another SCP entity. Foundation staff are not to approach SCP-P-484-V. Observations by Foundation members are to be conducted from 1,000 meters away. If in the event that SCP-P-484-V does change its behavior and begin to infect others with SCP-001-V, it is to be reported to the O5 Council immediately. Under no circumstances are Foundation staff to engage in any hostile or aggressive behavior with SCP-P-484-V. Doing so may result in the entity going on a rampage. Description: SCP-P-484-V is a rather tall entity, measuring 4.2 meters in height. SCP-P-484-V, when not in its infected form, is usually white in appearance, with a grey underbelly, purplish-pink stripes on its body, and 2 large pinkish gems in its shoulders. This SCP does have what appears to be wings on its back, and as you might think, even though the wings don't move as such, SCP-P-484-V is capable of flying. The boys in the lab think that this SCP is some kind of dragon, based on the fact of its massive size and its ability to breathe a type of dragon's breath. When SCP-P-484-V appears, all other SCP-P entities appear to treat this SCP as a deity of sorts. This SCP has a red eye, and its head is encased in a kind of armour. When SCP-P-484-V uses its spatial power, portals open around the entity, while a small glowing portal appears around the gems on its shoulders. The body of SCP-P-484-V seems to be armoured in some kind of organic shell that the Foundation has yet to analyse. However, it has been noted by Foundation staff this armour is able to withstand the impact of several Keter-class entities without any visible signs of damage. In its infected form, the body of SCP-P-484-V becomes black in colour, with the gems changing colour. Sharp teeth and claws appear on the body. Several spikes are also present on the body of this entity. The pinkish stripes on the body of SCP-P-484-V change to be light bluish in colour, with a mixture of a bit of pink in there, and they begin to glow. The Foundation has observed that these stripes can distort the space around them, forming a type of barrier over its body. SCP-P-484-V seems to use this ability in its infected form to nullify the effects of sonic attacks, fire-based attacks, and any attack that works against V-class entities. Another reason SCP-P-484-V is classed as a polyon is the fact this entity can attack using various elements from water, fire, rock, ice, psychic, and electric. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I can see why this SCP is treated like a deity by other SCP-P entities. As such, the Foundation, well, the boys in the lab, are still trying to work on a containment procedure that will prevent these elemental attacks from breaching containment. Despite some headway in this, the main issue for containment is preventing SCP-P-484-V using its spatial abilities to travel vast distances in an instant, or to travel to another dimension. Foundation scientists have a few theories on how to do this, but using other SCPs to contain SCP-P-484-V would be a last resort. Wouldn't want to risk more Keter or polyon entities being infected by SCP-001-V. Seems kind of pointless. The Foundation causing the end of the world, or universe, after all the centuries of containing and preventing anomalies from ending the world.
I have to say, I'm super pleased with how the artwork turned out in this video, and I'm not sure which one's my favourite, but I do also love the background that I created for these. kind of gives the whole creepy dark feel to SCPs and venomization. If you want to see more Pokemon as SCPs Venomized on the channel, be sure to leave a like on the video to let me know you're enjoying the content. Why not check out the other Pokemon related videos we've got on the channel? There's Pokemon as mech armors, venomizing Pokemon, although those aren't SCPs but just regular Pokemon. I have some Pokemon fusions with hell of a boss characters, or there's the SCP videos. We have Pokemon as regular SCPs, Yu-Gi-Oh monsters as SCPs. There's some superheroes as SCPs. I even have some of the SCPs from the Foundation Venomized. So be sure to check them out. And if you like what you see, why not subscribe to stay up to date with content as it comes out. That's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time, which will be on Friday's video. See ya!